Okay, dear viewers, fellow Biafrans, and lovers of freedom, thank you very much for stopping by. This is once again Nelly's TV, our channel, your channel, the channel of all of us who love freedom, who love truth, who love Biafra. Thank you very much. And without wasting time, I want to thank all of you who have been supporting us in one way or the other by subscribing, by liking our videos, by sharing them, and so on and so forth. We are really very grateful. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And for those who have not subscribed to our channel, please, we just crave your indulgence to please consider doing so. All right. Thank you all, and may God bless you as you watch. Okay, today, what are we going to be looking into? This news broke out recently that a Canadian court has declared APC and PDP terrorist organizations, clearly terrorist organizations, and they didn't mince word. The court was very, very clear about it, that PDP and APC parties of Nigeria are terrorist organizations. And some Nigerians came up to start speaking their usual grammar to see if Canada would withdraw that. It's just a waste of time. This is a court, and they have their evidence. They went through their evidence before coming to that conclusion. Because what the court does is by the evidence before me. So what are you telling the court to do? You are just talking. You are just blabbing. The court has passed judgment, and that is final. If you're not happy, you go to a higher court and then defend yourself properly because they have all the evidence. You think that all these things happening in Nigeria, the international community is not aware of them. The international community is aware of them. All these countries are aware of them. But the problem is that because they also have their own selfish interests, they don't want to talk. So we're going to be looking at some of the things that really incriminate Nigeria, and of course incriminated Nigeria in that court. And that is where I am going to give you my own take on this whole issue. All right. So let's go. We're going to start with the news itself. We are going to start with the news itself. It was the one I have here was published by Sahara Reporters. You can see it up here, so I didn't make it up. Canadian courts terrorist tag on APC PDP proves Nnamdi Kanu should be prosecuting Tinubu, not vice versa. U.S. lawyer Bruce Fein says. So Bruce Fein is one of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer. So a terrorist country is prosecuting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is not a terrorist in any way, who has not done anything wrong at all. You know, they are prosecuting. So, because Nigeria is an upside down country. So those things that don't happen in other countries, they happen in Nigeria. So instead of sitting the cup on its bottom, Nigeria turns the cup upside down and then expels the water inside the cup to still remain. That is the kind of place they call a country for you, huh? All right. So what does it say here? Bruce Fein, a U.S. constitutional lawyer and counsel for Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, said that the Canadian court's ruling shows the Nigerian government's prosecution of Kanu is like Lucifer prosecuting Jesus. That is a very good illustration, okay? A very good analogy. These are criminals themselves, coming up to prosecute Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All right. Okay. So, how did this prosecution, what do you call it? This declaration of PDP and APC as terrorist organization come up? It came up when somebody from Nigeria, a politician, he has been a politician in PDP and then went over to APC. So after stealing all he could steal, he decided to run to Canada to go and hide with the family. He and his wife actually went on that mission and wanted to seek asylum. so that through that they could stay there for the rest of their lives and continue to enjoy their loot from Nigeria. That's what they do. These criminals, that's what they do. They loot and go to another country, stash the money there, and take all their families over there and remain there. And then the rest of them they left in Nigeria will be left in abject poverty. They don't care. They are heartless. God has to punish these people severely in the hottest part of hellfire. So he says on Thursday, some reporters on Thursday reported that the federal court upheld a ruling declaring both the PDP and APC, declaring both the PDP and the APC to be engaged in conduct amounting to terrorism and subversion of democratic institutions. The judgment delivered on June 17, 2025 by Justice Fuom TV Ngo dismissed the asylum application of Douglas Egareva, a Nigerian national and admitted PDP member, because his party membership alone was sufficient to make him inadmissible to Canada under paragraph 34 of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. So this man, Douglas Egareva, is the man who is from Edo State. He's the man that went there to seek asylum, okay? And the Canadian immigration denied him the application. So he went to the court to see if court could upturn the decision of the immigration, and the court held to it and said, we are not granting you immigration here, that is asylum, because you are a terrorist, one of the terrorists in Nigeria. And they said because he is a PDP member, it was enough for them to reject his application to be granted asylum. The court endorsed the Immigration Appeal Division's IAD detailed findings that both the PDP and APC had engaged in political violence, voter intimidation, ballot stuffing, and even murder to gain and maintain power, according to a court document obtained by People's Gazette. Well, the news continues from there, but we're not going to read everything. Okay, so let's go to the reaction of some Nigerians, of course, politicians, those same criminals who came to to see if they could debunk what the court of Canada had declared against PDP and APC. He says Nigeria government asked Canadian court to withdraw ruling designating APC PDP as terrorist organizations. That is arrant nonsense. Why would they withdraw it? They have their reasons. They mentioned some of them there, and nobody can deny that these are facts that are out there in the public domain. Okay, so they said in part, in a statement issued on Friday, August 15, 2025 by Kimibi Imomotimi Ebienfa, spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja, that is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria, of the contraption called Nigeria. The government described the decision as baseless, reckless, and an unacceptable interference in Nigeria's internal affairs. Oh my goodness, that is funny. Another person said, "Okay, can I see that one?" There was a politician, a spokesperson of the youth wing of PDP. Okay, I will not waste my time about that. So, but that is part of what Nigerian government is saying. Okay, so now, but let us face reality here. I've got some questions and some information I need to give to us, and from there you see my own take. First of all, which political parties have been leading Nigeria ever since they claim to have come back to democracy, their demon crazy since 1999? The answer is PDP and APC. And in this, in this their ruling of Nigeria, leading of whether ruling or misruling of Nigeria, which parties commit electoral violence? We always see it. Each time they do election, we see electoral violence. Which parties do that? It is PDP and APC. And you think that this international community, they don't see it? You think that these countries don't see it? Don't they have consulates and high commissions and embassies in Nigeria? They have. And they send their observers to go and observe the elections. And they see that it is basically these two parties, PDP and APC, that are busy committing electoral violence each election. Okay. Now, we remember Andrew Azazi, the then National Security Advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan. Andrew Azazi once said that PDP is the main sponsor of Boko Haram. That was part of the reasons PDP asked Jonathan to sack him. And after sacking him, they knew he knew a lot as the National Security Advisor, and they, just manipulated him, projected a air crash for him, and he died in a helicopter crash. That was Andrew Azazi. So it wasn't an ordinary person talking. It was the National Security Advisor to Jonathan. Even General Azubuike Ejirika also said the same thing, and that was how he had the boldness to fight against Boko Haram very squarely. And before you knew it, they started, the northern politicians who were also PDP started shouting that Jonathan has sent the Nigerian army to come and kill innocent, to come and unalive innocent citizens of the North, that Jonathan hates the North. That was how that attack against terrorists stopped. So they stopped a genuine attack against terrorists. So who are there? They are, of course, terrorists. And these were northern terrorists, northern politicians. The head of the propaganda at that time was Bamanga Tukur, the then chairman of PDP. So who is constituting this terrorism in Nigeria? It was PDP then, and now APC. So let's continue. That was about Andrew Azazi and his struggle and fight with PDP. And that was how they projected plane crash to him, and he died in the plane crash. Who did Obadiah Mailafia accuse of supporting terrorists? It was PDP and APC governors and politicians. That was Obadiah Mailafia. He said it. And when they saw that he knew a lot and was going to expose them, they projected sickness for him, and he became sick and died in it. He didn't survive it. Obadiah Mailafia died as a result of the spiritual, wicked, demonic projection against of these politicians against him. They were PDP and APC politicians. Okay. Now, you remember the man called Kabiru Sokoto who once bombed a church in Suleja. Kabiru Sokoto, after that offense, after that crime, that it was a Christmas day, Kabiru Sokoto ran away and was declared wanted. Where was he later found? He was found in the house of Shetima. Shetima is the current vice president of Nigeria. Kabiru Sokoto was found in his house. He was a senator then. All right. And when they wanted to arrest him, he resisted. That was how Kabiru Sokoto was again released as a free person. Kabiru Sokoto is still a terrorist till today. Nobody has seen him as an ordinary person or a repentant person in the society. That was it. And so who was Shetima? Shetima was a politician of what party? Of PDP, and now APC. So why won't Canada say that PDP and APC are terrorist organizations? They know what they are saying. Let us continue. So, but who actually formed Boko Haram? Of course, El-Rufai himself, who is also a terrorist sympathizer, once made it clear that Boko Haram was created by Ali Modu Sherif. Ali Modu Sherif was the governor of Borno State then, all right? And he was under PDP. So Why are you worried when Canada says that PDP and APC are terrorists? Yeah, Halima Sheriff created Boko Haram. He was a part. He was part of those who created it. This current Shetima was also part of it. That was why Shetima harbored Kabiru Sokoto in his house, who was a known terrorist that was declared wanted by Nigerian security agents for bombing a church. For bombing a church. So why wouldn't they say that PDP and APC are terrorist organizations? Let us continue. Now, who did Boko Haram appoint to negotiate with President Goodluck Jonathan when Jonathan asked them to call somebody to come and negotiate with government? Who did they call? They called Muhammadu Buhari. Muhammadu Buhari, was he a politician or not? He was. Okay. Though you may say he was neither in PDP or APC then, but eventually, which party did he use to ascend to the position of the president of Nigeria? It was APC. So why won't APC be accused? Because it was the same Buhari that went to APC and eventually became the president of Nigeria. He didn't change. It was the same him. All right. Okay, let's continue if that is not enough for you. Now, who started integrating terrorists into the police, Nigeria Army, Nigeria Navy, Nigeria, everything that carries gun? Who started it? It was Buhari. This same Buhari. And which party was he? He was in APC, integrating terrorists, known terrorists, into Nigerian police, army, DSS, immigration, custom, and the rest of them. Why won't anybody say that these parties are the ones? And their party members supported it. Nobody condemned it till today. It is still going on till today. Tinubu is still doing that. He's still integrating terrorists into Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian security agents. Which other country does that? That is arrant nonsense. Okay, if you think that is not enough, let's go ahead. Who is Oluomo, MC Oluomo working for? MC Oluomo is working for Tinubu, APC. He is APC. I will show you his video here where he was threatening Igbos in Lagos and said, if you will not vote APC, don't come out. Oh. If you don't vote APC, don't come out. Oh. Is that how to tell people to vote in a country? Is voting not a willful thing? Whoever you want to vote, you vote. But MC Oluomo was contracted by Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, to go and terrorize Igbos. And he did. And he actually terrorized Igbos on the days of election. He sent his boys and they actually unalived a lot of Igbos and wounded some who went to vote. So why won't you say that APC is a terrorist organization? Okay, let's continue. Who kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya? It was Nigeria under APC, under Buhari. They went to Kenya and kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Nigerian court declared it this thing, extraordinary rendition, which is kidnapping if it were an ordinary person that did it. But now that it was government that did it, it's called extraordinary rendition. It is clear kidnapping. That was what Nigerian court declared it. So Nigeria committed kidnapping, and it's only terrorists that do such things. So under which government? Under APC government, under Buhari. Okay, now let us continue. Who was the person that said that an attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the north? It was Buhari that said that. Buhari said that an attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the north. Where is Buhari from? Buhari was a politician and of APC. Even though when he said it, he had not joined APC, but eventually it was the same Buhari that joined APC and became the president of Nigeria. So whatever he said remains with him. He didn't change it. Okay, as if that is not enough. Do you remember that Lai Mohammed once said that terrorists and bandits are better than freedom fighters, Biafra freedom fighters? They accepted terrorists that they are better, that they prefer terrorists to to freedom fighters. All right? The freedom fighters are the real terrorists, and the terrorists are just looking for how to survive. That was what they said. And who was Lai Mohammed? Lai Mohammed was the Minister of Information of Buhari under which party? APC. Under APC. Okay. Who went to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house to unalive him and eventually unalive 28 persons at least in Afaruku Umahia? It was Nigerian Army. Under which government? Under APC. They were sent by Buhari to do that. So why won't you call APC a terrorist organization? Let us continue if that is not enough for you. Now, each time from time to time, we hear the Nigerian Air Force say that they mistakenly bombed innocent communities. They mistakenly bombed vigilante groups. Why don't they ever mistakenly bomb Boko Haram camp, ISWAP camp, the camp of Fulani herdsmen? They don't do that. They only mistakenly bomb innocent people. I will show you a video of what happened just recently. Again, Nigerian Air Force bombed vigilante that went to fight against Fulani terrorists that attacked them. Who are these Air Force working for, and who is commanding them? It is APC. They are unaliving ordinary people and leaving the terrorists alone. So who are they working for? They are working in favor of the terrorists. And you always see Nigerian police, army, checkpoints, there they unalive people. You always see Nigerian police, EFCC, and the rest of them breaking into people's house in the midnight. Sometimes they come through the roof, they break your roof and descend like criminals. Who are they working for? APC. All right. I mean, how many are we going to count? You see Nigerian army, they will just go into a community and burn houses, destroy the houses, break into it, carry people's property and load in their lorries and drive away. It is currently, as I speak to you, it is currently happening in Okiwe in Imo State today. It is happening there. They break into people's house, carry their property, load into their lorry and drive away. Who are they working for? They are working for APC. It was instruction given to them by the politicians to go and do that. That is why no politician has condemned them till today. So when Canada says that APC and PDP are terrorist organizations, why will anybody contest that? These are just to mention but a few. There are too many, so I can't continue. Now let's see this video. This is a video from Kaduna. They are planning to do an election, maybe by election or so. Now, the news has it that some unidentified officials stormed a venue where INEC ad hoc staff kept election materials in Kaduna ahead of today's election, seized them along with the INEC van, and drove to an unknown location. A woman who raised the alarm suspects they were APC members. They were APC members, of course. So who behaves like that? It is terrorists that behave like
has
that.
Been told. They forcefully told that vehicle, and that vehicle will have valuables in it. And they are claiming that they came here based on information, that they got an information that we kept ballot papers there. Now they have told this vehicle, taking it to an unknown location by unknown people who claim to be operative of the DSS and police. So only God knows what they've gone to do with that.
So they came and claimed they are operatives of DSS and police. So, but why are you towing vehicles that contain electoral materials? Who should you tamper with it? You were not drafted into the security of that particular voting election area. Why did you go there to do it? It is only terrorists and criminals that behave like this. This thing just happened today. Today is 16th of August, 2025. Okay?
That vehicle, and our materials are inside, including funds to be disbursed to agents at polling units. So we don't know what this government is up to. We don't know what the APC government in Kaduna State is up to. This is the height of their desperation.
Did you hear APC government? This woman knows what she's saying. She's an INEC officer there. That's why she's making this video, to tell the whole world what she's passing through. This is a hotel where they went to stay, all right, waiting for the election.
This is the height of their desperation. They want to stop at nothing to ensure that they rig this election. So APC should know that this is not a local government election.
So at this point, they were towing the vehicle back.
Now they are bringing back. The world can see that they are towing back the vehicle. They are towing back the vehicle. Only God knows what they have gone to do with it. Only God knows what they have planted in it just to accuse us of wanting to manipulate this election.
Okay, so that's the much I can go in this. So you can see it. You can see it. APC manipulating election. Was that not what the Canadian court said? That they manipulate election with all sorts of method, and you say it is normal, right? Let's continue. You will see more that will convince you that these people are criminals and should be declared as such. There is no other way to refer to a criminal than to say that he's a criminal. If he carries out this thing, a terrorist act, you call him a terrorist. All right, because criminals have different activities. This is MC Oluomo threatening Igbos in Lagos that if they don't vote APC, they shouldn't come out at all to vote. I'm going to play his voice. He spoke in Yoruba anyway, but look at the translation. Okay, let me go towards the end. That's where you will see something. Tell them, okay, tell them that Shukudi's mom, please, if you don't want to vote for us, who is us? If you don't vote Yoruba and APC, sit down at home because, Tinubu just took the whole of Yoruba to himself. He tried to make it a Yoruba thing. So you must vote APC. And he said, if you don't want to vote for us, sit down at home. Eventually, this MC Oluomo unleashed his criminal boys to go and begin to attack people. Some people were actually unalive, while some were badly injured. Look at it. He said it. But nothing happened. The government, the politicians, they didn't do anything to MC Oluomo. He's still walking around freely. So if they didn't punish somebody like this for saying this, who is MC Oluomo working for? He's working for APC. Short and simple. So is APC not a criminal or a terrorist organization? Now look at this one. Nigeria Air Force, again, mistakenly bombs innocent people. Listen.
Breaking news. This will shock you right now. Take a look at this. Nigerian Air Force mistakenly bombed local vigilantes in Zamfara State
In
here.
Zamfara State. All right. And when did it happen? Just yesterday. So you don't say that is an old one, because things like this have happened several times, and you may think it's an old one. This just happened yesterday in Zamfara. They bombed a local vigilante that are trying to defend the community from Fulani invasion.
In Nigeria, mistakenly, more than 20 of them, local vigilante. This was what happened. According to the survived vigilantes in Zamfara, they said Fulani bandit attacked their village, unalived many people. Vigilantes started chasing after the bandit, the terrorists, Fulani terrorists.
Okay, you heard that clearly. Fulani terrorists. All right. Now look at the headline news. Nigerian military jet mistakenly strikes, kills 20 vigilantes. 20, because they threw a bomb there in a civilian space. Why? How can you tell me that is a mistake?
They wanted to eliminate the Fulani terrorists what they heard and what they saw immediately was Nigerian Air Force on the air started bombing the local vigilante that wanted to eliminate the Fulani bandit. They left the Fulani bandit up front, started bombing local vigilante.
Okay, now if you read this other part of the news, it says we were on trail of terrorists when Nigerian Air Force jet bombed us. Is one of the vigilante, okay, one of the vigilante staff that's giving this account. He said we were on trail of terrorists when Nigerian Air Force jet bombed us. Zamfara vigilantes react to botched military operation. All right, and 20 persons of the vigilante lost their lives. Why is it that their bomb only lands in civilian space? Why don't they mistakenly go to that Boko Haram camp or Iswap camp or Fulani herdsmen camp and mistakenly bomb them for once? For once, let us see. Okay, and now that they mistakenly bombed these people and noticed that it was a mistake, why didn't they correct their mistake immediately and go to the right place and bomb it? They don't see them attack the terrorists. They will not, because they are both terrorists. Both the Nigerian Air Force, Army, whatever you call them, they are terrorists, because these terrorists whom they recruited into the army are there among them. And of course, even if you want to do the right thing, your boss in the office will deal with you. Now that this thing has happened, has Nigerian Army issued any statement condemning it? No. Have Nigerian politicians issued any statement condemning it? No. The governor will not say anything. President himself, this one here, this one, he will not say anything. Why? Because it is their plan. They are terrorist organizations. Call it APC, call it PDP. Today they are forming ADC. They say it's a coalition that's going to fight against APC, that APC is not doing well. The same corrupt, criminal, terrorist politicians are migrating to ADC now. Tomorrow, it will look like it's just a new thing. It is the same old criminals. They will continue from where these ones stop if they eventually get power. All right. So nothing changes. So this is what we see. And when Canada tells you that these two parties are terrorist organizations, it is very, very correct. So nobody should come here and begin to say, hey, why should Canada say that? Canada is very correct. The evidence is abound. There are too many. All of them cannot come into this video.
That wanted to eliminate the Fulani bandits, unaliving innocent Nigerians. Nigerian Air Force left Fulani bandits they supposed to bomb. They started bombing vigilantes. Happened in Zamfara state here in Nigeria.
Okay. So, and when the Nigeria Air Force postman wanted to talk, he said it was only one person that wasn't alive. Okay, even if it's one person, why would you strike one person dead? But the people on ground say that there were more than 20 persons who lost their lives. That is Nigeria for you, okay? So this is why Biafra is opting out of that contraption. It is a killer country. It is a terrorist country. There is no country that is as terrorist as Nigeria. Even Iran, they say is supporting a lot of terrorist organizations. It is not as terrorist as Nigeria. The number of people who lose their lives in Nigeria on a daily basis is many, many, many times more than what all the terrorists being sponsored by Iran eliminate in a day. They don't do as much as what happens in Nigeria, because Nigeria, they use both their conventional terrorists in the bush and the military and police and all armed carrying security agents to carry out their own terrorist activities. So they do it barefacedly. All right. That is why Nigeria's own is worse than any other one you can think of in the whole world. So, listeners and viewers, um, dear lovers of freedom and lovers of truth and friends and well wishers, that is my own take on that. Canada is right, 100% right in declaring these two parties terrorist organizations. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for viewing. Remain blessed and do have a nice day. Bye for now.